Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Within the Trenches podcast. And we are here live at the 2021 Navigator Conference that the IAD is putting on. And a big thanks, as always, to the IAD for hosting us. We've been coming here for the last few years. It's been excellent. It's always a good turnout, and we're back with a bunch of people. There's actually people here, and it has been really good. It's been really good. A big shout out to our sponsors as well, InDigital as well as Rapid Deploy. Thank you very much, and patrons for everything. And I have some special guests with me here today, and we're going to be talking about the Colorado NAVIGATOR Conference. Correct? Right. All right. We're going to be just sharing some information. I've been there as well. I've been a speaker there under InDigital, and it was a lot of fun. So first and foremost, good friend here, Monica. How are you?
I'm great, Ricardo. So good to see you, and thank you for having us.
Excellent. Now, I'm going to actually move your microphone up just a little more. And let's see. Let's tap on that really quick. All right. There we go. Use your dispatcher voice.
I haven't done that in a while.
There you go. So we've got some people who are going to be joining us here in the audience as well. And then our next guest here, Ken
Carson.
All right. And you are with?
Well, I'm with Zybex. I'm one of the owners of Zybex, and we're a Colorado company, and I am now the CCAM for the Colorado NINA APCO show.
This is
So
excellent.
I'm here to talk to the potential vendors and let them know we're going to have a really good show this year.
All right. Awesome.
Yep.
All right, well, let's get started here. Let's learn more about the conference and everything. Monica, if you want to start. Actually, before you start with that, if you can give the audience a little bit of information about yourself as well, where you come from, where you started, and where you're at now.
Oh, this is going to take a while. It's an impressive.
Thank you. Monica Million. I'm currently the immediate past president for the NINA at the national level. I actually served as the Colorado chapter president. And I started out as a dispatcher in Grand Junction, Colorado, and I worked there for 16 years, working my way up to the operations manager. I currently am in the role of the executive director for the Colorado 911 Resource Center, so kind of at a state level, and I thoroughly enjoy it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Awesome. This is going to be good.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great.
So how did the conference start? I mean, just some information on the conference and everything that goes into it, because there's virtual is one thing, but something like this that we're in, or what we're about to talk about as well in Colorado, there's so much that goes into it, just from, I mean, the speakers, bringing in vendors, just everything. So I guess let's start there. What goes into putting together a conference such as the one that we're talking about here?
Right. Even at the state level, the planning and logistics are the same. The complexity is the same, just on a different scale. We start planning a year in advance. We start getting ideas for maybe a common theme for the event, soliciting for who are going to be our keynote speakers, what are the main topics, or what are the things that are happening in the industry that might be of note that we can bring to the state event that would obviously trigger more attendance and interest. And, we start negotiating on properties. Where are we going to host the event at? Where's the best place? As in most states, you try to locate your event where the majority of the people can easily travel to. You're not having it out in the hinterlands. In Colorado, we're not having it out in Lamar or out on the plains, because people just can't travel there. And frankly, it's a lot of logistics. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of information sharing. And but I like that stuff, and we have a conference committee that's put together a fantastic program for this year. We're going to have Joe Serio as our keynote speaker.
Excellent. Love Joe.
Isn't he a great guy? He's from 360 Degree Dispatch, and he will be the keynote. He'll be doing several of his sessions during the event, which will be fantastic. One of the super fun things we're going to have is the group of service dogs. That actually, there's 2 agencies in Colorado that actually bring their animals into centers. They actually deploy to other parts of the country, and we actually have 2 teams in Colorado, and those teams are going to be at our show. And who doesn't love dogs? You know?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's always a good demonstration that is going on, and it's interesting to see as well, when you bring them in, at least. So when I was in dispatch, they didn't bring dogs in. I mean, we would have a canine that would come in, And that was good enough. With the canine officer would come in, we'd throw the ball and everything, and so that was fun. But it wasn't something that I really paid attention to until recently, right? When a lot of people are saying, we're bringing in the dogs, it helps people get through these calls and feel better and stuff. But during that time, I thought I was just playing with the dog. I didn't put myself in that almost childlike mind where I'm like, oh, this is so much fun. I'm playing with this dog and I feel a lot better. And then, once you really think about it and get into it, like, this is healing. Like, this is really helping.
Right. And it's funny that you say that. I mean, there's so much science now that's behind what happens to us physiologically, because we all love animals, and then you're loving on the animal and all your endorphins are kicking off and more positive energy is coming out, and the animals help to bring that whole stress level down. And I'm super excited because I think that's probably one of the funnest things we're going to do this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
On a side note, the Western Regional years ago had Ponies come in. They had emotional support ponies. It was pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, they have my pictures of it somewhere.
That is so
they're
awesome.
about, yay tall. Everyone can see my hand here on the podcast. And they had like 2 or 3 emotional support ponies come in. So it doesn't just have to be dogs, but dogs are the best.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we have got people here in the audience here also saying, that's cool. Like, that's awesome. So, that is.
Yeah.
You're going to have to share some of those pictures.
So
I want to see the pony pictures too, Kenny.
Yeah, but we'll get to test drive the dogs here at the show, right?
That's right.
Okay,
that's right.
Cool.
I know they're planning on doing a demo, and I know there'll be a session where they're talking about how to request the resource, and frankly, that's the most important part. And then everybody wants to pet the dogs, right?
Of course.
Everybody wants to pet and love, and maybe toss a ball with them a few times, but I think the most important thing is that we get that information out to our 911 centers so that they can take advantage of the resource.
That's awesome. Now, for your part, what do you, on your side of it, what do you put into this? So where does it go from there?
This is my first year doing it, so I'm learning a little as I go along, and that's why I'm hanging out with Monica. I'm getting her help and advice, and I've been talking to other states on how they're putting their shows together. And I think Florida's done a great job. The Alabama show, year after year, they knock it out. I've been told like a dozen people go check out Missouri, so I got to hopefully go check out some of these other states. I've been to thousands of shows in my life, but I have a good idea what I do, and I got to really show the return on investment for a vendor to come in and spend the money on the booth. They got to know that they've got supporting on the other end, that they have a good show, they have a good speaker. Probably the most important thing is they have dogs. So if we've got dogs, we got people, right? So I'm just trying to drum up the support, and we need to get some vendors there. And we've got, we're going to have that lined up. We've got a big hall for them to be in. Tables are in the middle. So I like that style for the state shows where people are eating, they're kind of spending their time together, and the vendors are on the outside of the hall, so they can sit down with them, eat, they can stand there and just watch, whatever, but they're all in there together at the same time. I think that's fabulous because when the speaker's up or there's stories or something's going on, you're involved in all of it. So we're looking at things. I'm going to get good introductions from the directors, the sheriff, whoever's going to be there, so they can tell them, here's my budget, not necessarily the numbers, but this is what I planned in the next 5 years. I'm going to get a new building. I'm getting a new phone systems. So the vendors are going to be able to listen and talk to, just sit back and listen and talk to the attendees on what they have coming up. Instead of us just hoping somebody comes by the booth, we'll know they have a project or they don't that's related to what we do in our field.
Nice.
In addition, we've always, in the state of Colorado, we've made sure we have exclusive vendor hours because it's really important that our vendor partners know that we are as invested in them as they are in us. And it's really important. They're the meat and potatoes. They're the reason why we can hold these events. So it's really important that they have those exclusive hours so that nothing else is drawing from their attention. Another thing that we do in Colorado, and forgive me, I can't speak to what other states do if they're similar. All of the surrounding public safety agencies also receive an invitation to our vendor show because sometimes the 911 center person is not the decision maker.
Right.
So we try to reach out to the chiefs, the CEOs, whomever the decision-making bodies are, especially surrounding the area of the event so that we can bring other people in. And we make that free to them so that they can come in and see the wares of our vendor partners.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, to go along with that then, with not just the vendor partners and all, but for those agencies that are out there looking to send someone to the conference, why would they want to do that? Why? What is it that you all have to offer that they would want to send their people out there for this continuing education? I've been to the conference, so I can say all my on my own. It was amazing to be there and the networking and the sessions and stuff. But to come from the both of you, come from the area and everything as well, why should centers send their people to the conference?
At no other place or time in our state is there one-stop shop for the amount of training and information that you can gather and take back to your own agency. Best practices, information on policy, information on what's coming down the pipeline from a technological perspective. So we in Colorado, we've just transitioned to our ESI net. So there's going to be a lot of information about what services we're going to be putting across the ESI-net. And there's no other place or time to do that. And there's so much information. Really, most of the time it's overload, but you can gather a little bit and take it back home and share it. And the value for the dollar is unbelievable. We have a flash day planned for July 29th.
19th.
I'm sorry, July 19th, my bad. That will be our hot sale day where they get a significant reduction in price. So don't miss that.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's a good deal.
Yeah, it's a great deal.
Now, you guys have these cards that you're passing out as well, right?
Yep.
So there's some cards here. Monica, if you want to show it into the camera there for the, you put it up a little bit closer right up in there. So those who are watching right now, you could actually focus on that and actually get that QR code that's right there. So that would be...
That actually takes them to the vendor page.
Well, for the vendors and any of the other information as well, right?
Yeah. So the show's at the Embassy Suites in Loveland, Colorado, so just north of Denver, and it's right next to the Budweiser Event Center. So there's gonna be cool stuff to do there. It's October 18th through the 20th for all the attendees, and then pretty much 8 to 5 every day. And then for me on my vendor side, we're looking at October 19th. Set up the booth. We've got from 9 till about 11:30. The show starts at noon and goes to 5 or 5:30. When we wrap up around there. So those are the exact times, and then they'll have information to sign up through me, and I can help them out with all that.
And also our social event will be in the vendor space, again, to bring more traffic to our vendor partners. And we always provide some separate rooms or scheduling opportunities. Sometimes our vendor partners will hear that an agency, I'm going to be shopping for CPE. I'm going to be shopping for CAD. And so it allows those vendors an opportunity to make side appointments with them, maybe take them into a meeting room and have a private conversation.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
We got to do everything we can to support our vendor partners.
For sure. Yeah. And so then back to you, Ken, talking about vendor partners and all, why should the vendors want to jump in on this as well? We heard from this side for continuing education, but for the vendors, to I guess get that exposure, why should they come and do this as well then?
Well, it's back to the return on investment. I mean, we're here as a vendor. Simply put, I'm in here at the show to get leads. I'm here to make money, right? And not that we're greedy, but you got to make money to survive and live, and that's what we're here for. And so you're going to get that opportunity. Obviously, we're getting into the shows again. It's nice seeing people. This is wonderful, getting to shake hands, go to the bar afterwards, which is always important. But yeah, so we're going to try to have a great return on investment for them. So that's us putting together the framework of a great show on the attendee, and then translates to the vendors show up. And if we can get them in front of the people that obviously are shopping or are going to have something coming up in the pipeline, get them warnings, that's fantastic. And for their end, if you're a director and you have money in the next 2 or 3 years, you want to start shopping now. Not just for what we do on the furniture end, but technology changes fast. And you got to be on top of it, so you know what's coming up. So when your time comes to spend money, you're prepared. But to the vendors, we're just going to have the people there that they need to talk to. We're going to make it very clear, the times, easy to meet with them. We've got the exclusive times for them. So we're going to provide a lot of the usual stuff you see at the shows, but it's going to be done really well.
Awesome.
And I think I can speak pretty intelligently about this, but you may know better, Kenny. I also think our vendor show is one of the lesser expensive vendor shows in the country, as far as what a table costs or the space costs. So
Yeah, there's
better right there.
Yeah, there's different levels of sponsorship, so I'm not going to get into all the pricing yet,
Yeah.
but it's available, I think, on the website, or you can contact me, and I'll help you out with that, and we'll steer people in the right direction, what's working well for them, getting their name on the banners, getting their, whatever they need to do, or the level they want to support stuff, the usual things. They've got food or the coffee and all that. Well, we'd love that support, and it's a nice way to get your name in front of them, and we'll make sure we have fantastic signage for that, where it's very clear who sponsored this. I want to make that very clear and easy. So, and I've got
signage is always good. Marketing is a big thing.
Yeah, and I've got a graphic designer. I'm going to put her to work on this, so it's going to look really good. It's not just going to be me on Word document putting it together. So,
Well,
and I've seen Kenny's drawing.
what's a good a memorable moment for you from this conference specifically? Did you have any moments that pop in, or like, yeah?
Well, yeah, but
That's
they
why I love
usually
that
occur in the
conference.
bar afterwards. So. I'm hoping my memorable moment this year, I'm going to rent one of those private rooms and steal all the dogs and just roll around with them. I think
that would be perfect.
That's what
There
I'm
you go.
looking forward to. So just Kenny and the dogs, I'll be so happy. I've been doing these our business just turned 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing these shows for 30 years. And man, the first ones, I had no clue what I was doing, right? I'm talkative now. I wasn't very talkative back then. So I still just love meeting people. I mean, it's so neat. And I've learned you got to, everybody, no matter, I'm getting into too much detail probably here, no matter what people look like or anything or how they're dressed, you greet them with a smile and you get some of the best stories out of people. Colorado show one year, we met a guy, Jim Bailey, ran Denver Public Schools, I think. Dude's a beekeeper. So he ended up bringing us honey all the time. So every time we go down to meet with him for something, have jars of honey for us. I mean, how great is that? You get to meet people like that. And it's neat when you find out, you start chatting with somebody at a show and you find you have a common interest. And you start, you're like, oh yeah, I did that hike too. And blah, 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 blah. It's so much fun. So I just love meeting the people.
It is all about the
Networking.
personal connections. I don't care where we're at or what we're doing. If I can meet somebody and they're like, oh, blah, 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 just like Kenny's, it is something as simple as you share a story and you have something in common, a common interest, and it just sparks this whole 2-hour conversation, or I made a new friend, or whatever it is. And that's the things that fuel us, That's what is making coming back to a conference so exciting.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's like I was telling everybody that I saw yesterday when we were getting ready to start the Expo Gala. I was saying it's like the first day of school, man. It's like we've been on summer vacation. We're coming back and everyone's saying hello again and stuff. And it's familiar,
Right.
There was that distance, but it's familiar. People are coming back and it feels good. What about you? What about your a memory that you have from the conference? Something memorable.
I'll tell you, it was I think it was the year I was the chapter president, and I was sharing with Kenny. I had this wild idea to bring the energy level up in the vendor hall, and I know, Ricardo, I'm very shy. I'm shy and withdrawn, and somebody gave me a mic, and then it got crazy. And I literally, I walked around the entire vendor hall and I'm like, in 10 seconds or less, tell me about your business and why we should come to you. And I scared the crap out of several vendors because we didn't tell them that's what we were going to do. I just did it on the fly. It was so much fun. And afterwards, even a couple of them were like, oh my God, that was so much fun. And really, you could just feel the energy level like ramp up 100-fold. And I'm like, oh my, I feel like we're on The Price is Right or something. And I'm like, wait, blah, 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 blah. And it was just super fun. That was one of my funnest times ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is excellent. Well, like I said before, I have been to to the conference as well, and it was excellent to be there. I'm trying to remember the session that we did. We did a session that's called A Day in the Life of Text 911, where we read actual text sessions that were coming in, and we just would make up voices and stuff to go along with it. So it was the point of the session was to make sure that people knew that doing text 911 was not going to be as overwhelming as they thought. Just from examples of real text sessions that were coming into us. And that was a lot of fun. It made it a lot of fun. There was standing room only. When we left from there, everyone was just busting a gut because we were just laughing so much. So that conference was really good. The part at the end during like the giveaways and everything else that was going on all in the same room together, that I enjoyed as well. It it was like a big family, just everyone together, just having a good time.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Yay.
I'm excited for it.
And you know what, Ricardo, we would like to invite you too.
Well, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
That'd
we
be
would love
excellent.
to have you.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah.
I would love to get back there and do something as well.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that. We'll have
Yeah,
to figure
let's do
something
that.
out.
Yeah, for sure. Let's
It's
do that.
Colorado after all. It's just
Yeah.
beautiful
Yeah.
all
It is.
the time.
And-
Middle October should be great, or we might have 4 feet of snow. You don't know, but that's the fun of it.
I love it. Well, as we go into the wrap up of this, for any vendors that want to get involved with this or any other information to find out about the conference, where can they find all of this?
You can find all of the information on our website, www.coloradoninaapco.com.
Excellent.
Yep, and the vendors can find it from there. They've got an industry partners page, and click on that, and then they can start finding all the information they need on there. My email address is there, but it's kenc@xybix.com. And contact me up, and I'll start helping you out and get you the floor layout and start picking a booth space and all that.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you both very much for being here, and thank you all here in the audience as well as you're watching live here. Once again, we're here at the 2021 Navigator Conference, and a big thanks to the IAD as well as in Digital and Rapid Deploy. If you have any comments, questions, or you want to be a guest on the show, you can email us, and that's going to be wttpodcast@gmail.com. And we'll see you in the next one, everyone.
Thank you, Ricardo.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you.